So this here is part 3 of how to rehab a TFC strain, aka inner wrist pain. In the first couple of videos, I showed how you can deal with this by doing lighter exercises with the band or with body weight. But if you get to that point where it's starting to feel stronger, it's starting to feel like you can start to put weight through that hand, this is the exercise I want to see you guys do. All you're going to do here is you're just going to take a ball, in my case a basketball, any kind of ball you can scrape up at home. You take that, and using your injured hand, you're going to start by putting your knuckles on the ball. I'm going to zoom in so you guys can see. Just like that. And while you do that, you shouldn't have any pain when you do this here. It should feel nice and comfortable. If you are feeling pain, I would, for now, just back off and stick with the earlier exercises. The whole idea with this is you're not trying to do anything really stretchy. You're just trying to get yourself used to putting that force through the ball. If you can handle just putting the weight on the ball, the next thing I would do is I would step it up a notch and I would start to do little circles with the ball. Start by going in this direction here. And the big idea with this is you don't want to see that wrist move. So if this is my wrist here, you don't want to see it move like crazy. It should be little subtle movements, but nothing big. The main idea here is you're trying to get that wrist used to having that force go through there, because that's what you're going to have to do when you have to push yourself out of a chair. For some of you that are athletes, you may have to do things where you're on your hands. So you want to gradually work on that, go in each direction here, and then turn around, go the other way. I recommend doing this for 1 minute. Take a little break, shake your wrists out if you need, and then do that 3 more times. Or do that, and then do that 2 more times. One way you can make it harder is to take a towel, in this case it's a t-shirt, but anything rolled up that you can bunch up like that, and put that on the palm of your hand right here. When you put this on the palm of your hand, I'd actually make sure it's not too thick, but it should look like this here. It should look that if the palm of your hand, this part, it should go right on this spot here, and then your fingertips should touch the ball. The big idea with that is you're getting yourself used to being able to bend that wrist back a little bit more when you're doing it. I assume for many people it may hurt like crazy to go all the way down like this into the push-up position and go there. That's what we want to get to eventually. But instead we're going to start off, we're going to give ourselves a little riser for our hands and do the exact same thing that I showed you guys before doing the circles. Once you get to the point where that's not causing any pain, eventually you can put it through your hand this way. Doing the exact same thing. And for those of you that are super athletes, obviously you can go on your hand here, you can put your full weight on your hand, you might even be able to do handstands, but it all depends on what your normal is. If your normal is just putting weight through the hands to push yourself out of bed, you don't need to go too far with this. But the big idea is you want to gradually get yourself used to being able to bend that wrist back a little bit more while planting weight on it. Also touch on really quickly another little trick you can do to make life easier for your wrist. And that's by taking some athletic tape and simply just doing 1 ring around your wrist right here. This is actually something you could have done at the stage 1 as well, but I'm showing this here because if you are starting to put weight through your hand, it can make life a lot easier. All you're going to do is simply find where the bony part is of your hand. You should see a little bony bit that sticks out here. If you slide your hand down, you should feel a little lump. Put the edge of the tape going this way along that tip, so the tip of the hand should be here. And then from that point, just wrap it around. In my case, I got to use my neck to actually make it wrap around. And it should just wrap around just like a watch there. The good thing is when you keep it above the wrist joint, you can actually go pretty tight on it and it'll secure these 2 bones. I'm not as big of a fan of securing the wrist joint here unless you really can't tolerate bending back at all. When you're at this point, when you are starting to handle going like this, I'd much rather secure the two bones back here rather than do it here and just here and make you immobile. So just do a loop around here. Should really help you when you are planting on your hands. Stick with that other exercise and get that wrist strong again.